What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a nice Monday. This is going to be a new video series. It's going to be like in the format of essay format. I'm going to give my take. I'm going to give reasons supporting the take. I'll find some counter arguments to my take. And then at the end, if I have any solutions, I'll be putting those out as well. This is in hopes to get the attention of maybe just players, putting up some problems that a community has, or the publishers, the developers. Maybe they'll come up with some solutions. But yeah, that's what this is. Let's just kick it right off. The take for today is Apex Legends is going to struggle to be a great esport. And, we've seen battle royales and the way they're structured, it just doesn't seem like something that fans and sponsors and organizations can get behind. And this seems to be a reoccurring theme, and it's going to be a reoccurring theme even with Apex. So let's get into it. Reason number one, battle royales aren't inviting to fans. When you look at other sports or even esports, it's usually one team versus another team. So you get to see your team 50% of the time, maybe 40, maybe 60, depending on who's doing better, what's happening. But you get to see your team, the team you're cheering for, a majority of the time. And with battle royales, it's 20 teams dropping down. Each team is not going to get the same amount of airtime, and no one's going to watch a 3-hour, 4-hour, 5-hour long stream to see their team for maybe 10 minutes if they're lucky, if the team even makes it to like the top 10. And with Apex, till about the fourth circle, there's still 20 teams still in the pool. So how are they going to make sure that each team is seen properly and like each team gets the same amount of airtime? It's just impossible. And then along with that, there's a disconnect between casual and pro players. If you're watching CSGO, or if you're watching League, or heck, if you're even watching football, you know what's going on. Maybe you don't understand the complete intricacies of the game, but for the most part, you know what's going on. And even if you've only played football once in your life, or maybe even if you haven't played, there's many people that haven't played football, right? But they're into the sport. And there's a disconnect between the casual player that's in silver, that's in gold, even plat, and then in the higher ranks. In the higher ranks, you'll see people camping, but that's what it seems like to the regular viewer, but they're just looking for better positions. They're looking for better spots to be in. They're playing the circle. They're playing for position. They're not always playing for KP. And to the casual player, it just seems like, oh, these guys are just hunkering down and camping in a corner. And it's just happening between like 20 teams. The circle is like on the third one already. How is there still 20 teams alive? When you're playing in the lower ranks, the second circle, you might only have 10 teams left. So there's a complete disconnect in the game of how it's played, just in general. And in the pro scene, by the second circle, it'd be rare to see two teams drop, and this disconnect just doesn't allow any of the casual players to come on into the competitive scene of the game. And then the third reason, which is probably the biggest reason, is Respawn and EA together, mostly EA, is bottlenecking the competitive scene for Apex. Look at the prize pool, right? Like $100,000, I think, for being first place. Look, if they were looking to make this game competitive, if they were trying to increase the viewership, the prize pool should be much larger. The prize pool should be much larger, because without a big prize pool, there's no reason for these big name esports organizations to come in and make a team and invest their money to make a team in Apex. And if there's no big name esports organizations, then there's not going to be big sponsorships. There's not going to be more money coming into the game. There's not going to be the fan bases of the esports organizations and what they bring to the table. And there's no incentive for big names to bring their viewership, their people into the Apex scene. And maybe if the prize pool was bigger esports organizations would come into the scene. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like either EA believes in the game or they're just completely fumbling the bag. And on top of that, there's no advertising for the game, like barely any. Like, I have not seen a single Twitch ad for it. I have not seen any in-game things like, oh look, ALGS is going on right now, check it out. And none of that stuff is going on. So it seems like since the beginning of the game, EA, Respawn, they didn't believe in the game. Like, even in the beginning, they didn't market the game because they were afraid that the Titanfall community there's gonna be some serious backlash from them, and that the game would drop and no one would want to play it just because like 6 months of marketing caused backlash, right? And they have been afraid to market their brand since the beginning of this game's drop. And if this keeps going on, I don't see this game growing into the potential that it has. So these are some of my arguments for why this game is not going to be a successful esports. And let's hear some counter arguments that I found, going through the internet. One of them could be COVID. Yes, I get it. COVID has made everything slower. It's a big struggle, right? Like, but using that as an excuse when other organizations during the same time period have seemed to grown, and they're taking advantage of all these people being home, all these people being forced to stay home. And look, they're gaming. That means if you put up an ad saying, oh look, in game, there's a bunch of people like staring at your home screen every day. If you just put up ALGS tournament this weekend, check in, and maybe you get some drops by linking your Twitch account, then you could grow your viewership. And another reason could be a counter argument that this just wasn't built to be a competitive game. Like I said, they didn't believe in this game since the beginning, it seems like. So they had no hopes, no expectations for it to be this big and to have this many players. But these players need to be translated into viewers for the competitive scene if they're looking to grow it. If not, then okay, I guess this video is a waste of time and I should just pack up my bags. There's no reason for it. And then some might say you can't compare this game to Valorant or CSGO. I'm not saying they should be CSGO or Valorant or League. I'm just saying this video is about how they're going to struggle and what the reasons are. And maybe some of the big brain people out there, they're paying these people 6-figure salaries, right? At Respawn, at EA, to market, to grow their brand. Maybe they can come up with some stuff. They got think tanks, they got big brain people. Like, I'm just putting out the problems. Maybe someone can come up with the solutions. But speaking of solutions, I have a few of my own, and I'm going to break it down for you guys. Number one, Respawn needs to make it known in-game that there's a tournament. This is like unbelievable that this game is trying to have a competitive scene without advertising it to its players. Like, in-game, you have millions of people looking at your home screen. How could you not just put out, hey, look, there's a game going on, check it out. This is like the top of the top, upper echelon of players. Like, make sure to watch it. But no, none of that. Also, the rules for the tournaments are super completely messed up. Again, you can blame it on COVID. They haven't been working on the rules. Like, if you read the rules, first of all, why do I have to figure out how to qualify by reading, go from section B to find out the rest of the rules, go to appendix E? Like, this is just too much. A casual player should be able to just look and be like, okay, this is how you qualify. Okay, this is what you got to do. Okay, this is the prize pool. Like, why do it's a 200-page rule book. No casual player is going to read through a 200-page thing to figure out how to qualify, how it works, who wins what. Like, make it simpler and clean it up. They still haven't updated when the online tournaments are in their rule book. Like, people are just supposed to go find them on Reddit or something like that. Like, I've had more success on Liquidipedia than I've had on the EA site or on Battlefy for the rules or anything like that. And another thing, a solution is, do not put the goddamn games on a Monday. Don't put the finals on a Monday. How many sports or esports have ever decided or thought that was a good idea? Like, I don't even think they want it to be successful. Who puts the finals of any tournament on a Monday? Look, I don't know why, but Sunday football, it's huge, right? Like, it's your day off. You get to watch whatever you want. Your family's into it, yada, yada. The same could be for esports. And it kind of is, right? As this next generation grows up, maybe traditional sports will be phased out on Sundays and it'll be esports. Whatever esports your dad is into, our generation is into, maybe our kids will watch it as well. Like, but the fact of the matter is, people are not going to want to come home after work on Monday and watch esports, or even force their family to watch esports. Be like, hey guys, look, this is cool. Like, get into it. Like, no, that's I don't know. But please, EA, you got to not put these tournaments on Monday anymore. it's atrocious to watch. And then last but not least, actually not last, another reason, you can make maybe two streams, right? One stream covering 10 players in the game, another stream covering 10 players in the game, just so these teams can get more airtime, and then fans can be more willing to watch it, so then they can see their teams, they can see their favorite Twitch streamers. Like, yeah, it's fine to watch the Twitch stream with the 5-minute delay, but it's not, fans don't always want to see just like, oh, what are the teams talking about. Remember, these are casual fans. Most of us are casual fans. I'm not a diamond player, Apex player. Like, I'm just a casual fan. I want to be able to enjoy it. So I want to be able to see my team, but also I want to be able to see and hear like some breakdowns of what's going on. Why is this team's positioning like this? What's happening? Why should they be afraid of being third partied? Where's the circle? Why are they going around the circle this way instead of coming around this way? Like, all this should, I want to be able to like break it down. I'm not going to hear that in comms of like Snipe Down telling his teammates what to do or where the enemy teams are. Like, that's just not going to happen. So there needs to be a way for fans to watch their players, their teams, and get to see more of them. So maybe two streams, 10 of the top teams, 10 of the bottom teams, and you get to pick which stream you want to watch. And you'll get way more fan engagement like that. And okay, now last, advertise the teams. Be on Twitter. Make sure people know. Be on Facebook. Be on YouTube. Be on Instagram. Promote the tweets. Like, just do anything to get the name out there. Like, I don't see any ads. I don't see any promotions. The Twitter account isn't even that active. The only thing they put up on YouTube is the player highlights, like, oh, look, this player is playing in Apex. Like, okay, please, I don't care. Like, make it more about the teams. Make skins so the fan bases can buy the skins for their teams and they can be more invested. Use the money from the skins to increase the prize pool. Look, people are invested in the game. Take that to your advantage. People are logging in every day. Take it to your advantage. So that's the end of this video. This was my take for the week, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave any comments, maybe some tips, maybe what you guys think would be something Respawn and EA could do to make the game better, and especially the competitive scene. All right, thanks guys. This is Acorn eSports. I'm Faraz Aleem, and I'm signing off.